Hi, it's Karen Gilbert from Simply Said with Karen, and today I'm here to demonstrate to you a technique called Bokeh. Bokeh comes from the Japanese language and it's loosely translated as blur. So some of you may have seen photographs where the background has blurred lights in it. Well, that's the look that we're going to. Sorry, that's my light just fell over. We're going to look at how we can recreate that look in paper crafting. So these are two cards that I've done. This is the Bokeh background here, and this is another card that I did. And this is what the finished product will look like. And then you can stamp on it. Just make sure that it's completely dry before you do that, or you can do what I did and use an image as a focal point on the card. So let's get started. There's just a couple of things that we need to create this. First of all, we need watercolor paper, and I tacked it down onto my grid sheet with some washi tape, because as you get the paper wet, it tends to buckle and fold. So the other thing that you need is various colors of re-inkers, and today I'm using pistachio pudding, the rose red, and Marina Mist. And you're going to get different looks depending on how much or how little of the re-inkers that you use. You need a Whisper White Craft ink pad, the dauber, the aqua mister, and I've got water in the barrel here, and a stencil that I created using the window sheets and the circle framelets, and just used the 3 smallest framelets. And I've marked it face up so that I remember which side the ink is on. And a bottle of water and some paper towel because it gets messy. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is spray your watercolor with some water. I'll just move everything out of the way. You want to get it good and wet, and that allows the ink to flow and disperse. So then I'm going to put some re-inkers into this little container here, and I'm going to start off with Marina Mist, a couple of drops there, the rose red, and the pistachio pudding. And I have about 3 drops in each of those. So I'm just going to line up the colors behind my container so I don't forget which color I have in the little container. So then I'm just going to take my aqua painter, and I'm going to load up my Marina Mist, and then I'm just going to touch it to the paper, and you can see how it starts to spread. And you can go back and add some water to it, and it'll just spread a little bit more and won't get so concentrated. And you just keep doing that. Got myself a piece of paper towel here. Clean off my re-inker, because if you overlap the colors too much, then it gets muddy. So then I have some of the rose red, and I'm just going to squirt some of the water on it so it starts to flow. And you can see how the paper started to buckle. And I'm just going to put some more water on it to move around that paint or the ink. Get a little bit more here going on. You just keep going until you have completely covered the paper. Next one I'm going to use is the pistachio pudding. I know that it looks a little bright right now, but that'll change when we start to put the craft ink on it. And go back and add some of the other colors if you like. Put some more Marina Mist in it there. So now that I have a mess, and it looks pretty good, there's a few spots here I think. I just poured a little bit more water to it so it covers. I'm just going to clean up my mess here a bit. Now we have to let this dry before we start to do the Whisper White craft ink on it. And so I've just sponged up some of the mess. You can use your heat gun if you like. I'm just gonna put this, and so it'll dry a little quicker. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to go over and use my heat gun and to dry it. So I'll be right back. Now I have my panel all dried now, and I've taken the washi tape off of it. So now we can start to use the stencil and our craft ink to get the look that we want. It appears to be quite bright now. But once we finish with the stenciling, it's going to mute those colors. So you can just go anywhere to start and just take your stencil, your dabber, and your craft paint and just rub around in the circles. And you just keep doing that until you've got as many of the areas covered that you want to. So you can overlap. So once you have your panel looking like you would like to have it, then I'm just going to take now my dauber and just put it into the ink and then just randomly dab a bit of the straight ink, just to give it another type of look. So I think that's it. So now you just really have to let this dry, and if you're going to stamp on it like I did on this one, you have to make sure that your ink panel is absolutely dry, or else it'll smudge your sentiment or what it is you're going to stamp on there. So when it's dry, it will look similar to this, where you can see the colors coming through, but they're really muted, and you can then complete your card as you would like. So I'm going to just probably let this dry overnight and then decide what I'm going to do with it tomorrow. But it would be a fun background for a birthday card, or maybe I had used the sheltering tree in this one. Maybe it's a good look for a summer look, as I used these colors for a fall look. So you can just use your imagination and do as much as you like or as little as you like. So give this a try, and if you decide to do it, I would love to see your cards, and you can send them to me at Karen@simplysaidwithkaren.com. And yes, just let me see what you've been doing. So thanks, and look for another how-to video. Bye now.